I think there's only one. I'm pretty sure there's only. Hey,
Oh, what's
there.
up, everybody? Welcome to AV Club.
Hey.
Shout out to Molly Moore in the building. No camera, no microphone. We see your profile picture. Oh, she pulled up.
Hey.
What's up? Welcome to a special holiday edition of the AV Club.
Allow me. You want to do it? I was going to introduce you. I know you always introduce me. I want to give it to you this time.
No,
So,
please.
ladies and gentlemen, it was the birthday of this fine young man.
Oh, that's cute.
This week.
It was very true.
And so our creative director was celebrating it's an angel number of sorts, but it's not his exact angel number.
It's -20.
It is Paris Finney, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my God! Look at that lower third.
Oh,
Scrunchy.
anthropomorphic TV.
Oh, bam! Somebody had to pass that torch over here. Feed that chicken. Sit next to me, our CEO and a visionary extraordinaire, favorite Charlotte Yeller. You can do it right now because this is Isaac Svensson. Whoa,
Hey.
looking like a young version of a handsome Santa Claus. My boy. So we are here today to talk all that is branding, coaching, marketing to make you a superstar in the waves of the attention economy. Who we got in the room today? Let's give a little quick shout out. So you can see what's up.
We're gonna record our meeting too. Almost forgot. Whew. I mean, the intro's an intro, so thankfully I think we're gonna be okay on that one.
All right, who we got? Who we got? Talk about it.
Who's there? I don't see it. Hello? Hello out there, hello?
Because Molly, her microphone's
Echo,
muted.
echo.
She's back.
Hello.
There it is.
My name's Molly.
Welcome to our space.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for joining us today here on AV
Yeah.
Club.
I'm
It's
excited.
always important to have at least one person in the space. We gotta,
It makes it way better.
oh yeah.
Nice. I'm glad to be the person today. I'm excited
I'm
for
glad
this.
you're that person. Absolutely. Synchronized coffee sipping. Oh, we got another one coming true. We got key people popping in. As we start to populate, I want to get this show on the road because one of our most popular segments is the hot seat, giving you guys the chance to talk your business, ask
sorry,
about
the what now?
The hot seat. Do it. But we're not doing that yet. I'm going to get the crowd too excited. Yeah, give you a chance to talk about your business, some bottlenecks, some things that we could help you with over 25 years plus of expertise. Would you say so yourself?
Yeah, at least.
I love that for us, but we want to talk about video. We have been doing a lot of market research, a lot of experimenting with working with a lot of different types of people, different industries, hospitality, real estate, entertainment, and we have discovered, by way of mostly is Isaac, and I'm picking back off his coattails, the 7 basic styles of video every business needs to succeed.
Super important. As we talk about our growing businesses, it's easy to get caught up into our own stuff. I was doing some research even this week, thinking about our own details. But it's important to remember that people need concrete things to hang on to and to latch onto. And so one of the manifestations for that, for us, something that I really believe is going to make a big difference, not only in our business, but in the businesses of everybody we work with, is going to have a package that we can name, that we can brand, that people can understand, that they can follow the whole process all the way through. Because if I talk about, hey, we're going to do video that transforms your business, that's like great, but I don't understand. If I tell you we have a liftoff package that has 7 different types of videos, and when you work with us, we're going to give you 12 specific videos, and you can check them off and go down a list, you're going to feel a lot better about understanding what's happening, knowing what the value is, knowing what it is. Now, what we're actually delivering isn't exactly any actually different. But you feel a lot better about it.
Yep.
And hey, learn from our example too, and in your own businesses as you're thinking about what you're doing, make it concrete, whatever it is that you're trying to sell. So if you've got something that is ethereal or hard to describe, that's the power of putting a name on it, putting some actual concrete things on it, giving people something to hold on to. And it can be scary because for us it was like, well, how much does it cost? Well, it depends. Do you want a picnic or do you want a banquet? It's like they're 2 very different things.
I choose banquet.
Yeah.
Banquet
So
kind of
what we came up with
Yep.
is the liftoff package. And Paris, you want to start talking about what goes into the liftoff package? How about just an overview while I try to clean my glasses because I got glare from our light over here.
All right, cool. So our liftoff package, again, has 7 different styles of video. I always enjoy this liftoff package concept because it's about scalability. What can you replace yourself with? What can you do instead?
Not a robot, not AI. can't replace myself with an AI.
You know what I mean? You're too cool. And so being able to have that video representation for yourself and those specific elements allows you to put your mental real estate into other locations. We have our most recent finished video, and my favorite is the value video. A value video is something that you want to put that answers 80% of the questions you are most likely to receive. Specifically for us, speaking anecdotally, how much does it cost? How many people are on your team? How long does it take for it to be delivered? And can I be on set when you are filming? So these are like off the top of mind popping up. So our video answers these questions because we spend time, hours, I think most recently an hour and a half, answering that same style of questions. And if we just had the video and they say, you know, I am interested in your business, I do consider wanting to work with you, I have some questions though. Boom, you have interest, you have somebody on the reel, bang, bang. Now, instead of dealing with that hour-long conversation via Zoom or in person, here's a video that we made that'll answer all the questions you're most likely to have. And not only do you have buying temperature, you have more of a concrete lead and someone who's more willing to make a buying decision because you have spent the time proving that you know your business so well that you're going to answer all their questions.
Right.
And so we have a set of examples for each of the videos that we mentioned in said liftoff package, and we wanted to go through them really quickly with our own personal examples so you can see what we're talking about. And don't feel you need to compare yourself to the video quality. We are a video studio. You can use your cell phone, you can use your old flip phones, whatever it is, as long as you are taking the time. A lot of it is just a structure of being able to say, what are those questions that I'm getting asked? Now we're talking about the philosophy of your business. What are the things that I'm offering? How can I turn that into that service or that conversation into a video? It allows you to start distilling the most important aspects of what you do and how you make your money. And this is why the process itself, closely zoomed in, is super importante. So our first example today, I'm not even sure what it is, honestly.
Well, and forgive me for backing up just a little bit,
Whoa.
too. I want to address something that you said.
What'd you say?
Which is about coming up with these different examples. And you had mentioned that people are asking these questions, that you're answering these questions. I just want to make it explicitly clear
We're back.
that when we're answering these questions, the point is that when people come to us, they are not looking for us, they're looking for their own answers to questions.
Oh.
Right? So the point of these videos is not to be like, hey, here's my things. It's that we're intercepting the person's brain, right? Their brain is on this path of, I'm trying to make this discovery for myself. And I want to make sure that when they're spending that time, I'm the one they're spending the time with. That's why I'm making these videos. So when we answer the questions, we're doing a favor for the people, but we're listening very carefully to what they're asking and what they want answered. And so that's the nature of some of these videos. Okay, and so with that being said, the very first one
What is it?
that we recommend people do, and we won't watch the whole thing, is the value video. So without further ado, let me show you a quick example of the first little piece of a value video. Check it out.
Go.
When it comes to real estate, people want to know they're dealing with someone they can trust. Someone with the knowledge and resources to get the job done. Real estate investments, they're never small. The dollar amounts are large, and there's no investment more personal than someone's home. Your best interest is more important than a commission check. Most brokerages just sell real estate, and most property management companies just manage property. This is where we're different. Sales and management are interconnected, not just economically. The needed services and expertise are interrelated. Single service.
Oh, mid-chew.
Mid-chew. At least it's not a high chew.
I like
Or it
high
could have
chew.
been a high chew. I love
High
high
chew is
chews.
delicious. Yeah,
Mid chew
pretty
is
sure.
not as good as high chew.
We're getting off track. Well, talk about this value video really quick.
So this value video, if you notice, he's addressing not his own business, right? He starts by inciting a curiosity in the person. A person who's wondering about, like the kind of core question we addressed for Mike, and in that is he does something unique. His business does both property management and property sales. So this is a chance for us to work with him to create a video that says, hey, I don't know which way I'm going to go. Well, you could work with a company that does kind of both of these things. And we talked about the value of the company. And I'm just going to take a quick lap around the room and make sure, how we doing? Are we sound okay? Are we tracking? Is this interesting?
Maybe like hit the ground and run really
I know.
far, dude.
When we kind of landing.
We're trying to get as much time in as possible. But yeah, Molly, how are we sounding? How is the experience so far?
Making
Thoughts
a lot
on
of,
value videos?
yes, yeah. I like the arc that we're going on thus
All
far.
right, perfect. And the volumes of the items are not too loud or jarring?
Correct. Yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, but one time we had a canine who was not too thrilled about the way we did the hot seat.
No, it was loud.
It was too loud and scared the dog, and I felt really bad about it.
Oh no.
Yeah, but we're all right. There we're cool now. We're cool. We're gonna keep sending then.
Cool,
Back
cool,
to the
cool,
topic du jour.
Yeah, and if you've got feedback and you want to chat about this, I want this room to be collaborative. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really it's better when we're talking about things. So like we have a script, but we want it to be interrupted. If you've got thoughts, feel free to pop that hand up. And that goes for
iPhone.
the actual iPhone. in the
Shout
room,
out,
too.
dude. Like, shout
Wow.
out to Apple. Got a representative from Mac right here, right now. Big ups to
ooh.
you.
They're keeping an eye on me ever since I was gaming the system.
I know, dude.
cheating the system.
Shout out to my NSA agent who watches all my material when I go on my internet browsing history. So let's go really
That guy
quick
is
back
learning
in-
a lot of stuff. If I have an NSA agent, that dude is smarter.
My guy is probably embarrassed about what he has to show his peers about what he's found about me. Now the point here, more so like the value video, bringing back to the topic at hand, it's about looking at, okay, if I'm gonna buy a house, if I'm going to have somebody manage that house, what are the kind of questions that I'm going to be asking?
Yeah.
Obviously the service is this, but how much that service costs? What kind of offers are you going to be presenting that make me feel confident in the decision? Because you are someone in this scenario that can not only help me sell or buy a house, but I don't have to think about it. If I want to make it into an investment property, I say, Mike Dunphy, I have this house in the Hamptons and I need your help. I don't want to deal with it either. This is all you. Okay, so what kind of people are in your team? What kind of securities can I rely on that you can help me with? Like these things could be answered in the said value video. So I wanted to bring back the point, like kind of put yourself, as Isaac said, put yourself in the seat of the customer, the seat of the client, the seat of the person, being able to change your perspective from looking inside out to outside in.
Okay, quick pitch.
Is the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just saying words. Yeah, all right, cool. So the quick.
I got it. I'll give you that.
You got all right.
All right, so
go for it.
the value video is a great one to talk about, like what we just said, your value and answering the top. It's the top 5-ish questions that
Yeah.
you should be answering in that. So what are the same conversations you have every single time somebody calls? Most of the time they're asking the same questions. Please answer those in the value video.
True.
Another name for the value video might be an 80% video. 80% of the calls have these same questions.
Yeah.
So the quick pitch, on the other hand, is, hey, I don't even know who you are. Well, before we do something like an About Us video, which is a deeper dive into like building trust and building empathy into like me as a person, you just got to tell people who you are. You got to get in, you got to get out. Enough so that they know your face, enough so that they can kind of say, like, oh, I get it. Okay, cool. It's 90 seconds or less. And that is the quick pitch. Let's show you an example.
So Lead Forensics is a business-to-business lead generation software tool. You could call it caller ID for your website. We can show you the businesses that are visiting your website in real time that don't necessarily inquire with you. So if you have marketing campaigns that are going out across all channels, or SEO or PPC campaigns, and you're seeing the numbers but not the conversions, we can show you who those businesses are for you to reach out and contact them directly, and also improve your ROI and grow your business. You can find us at www.leadforensics.com.
Yeah. So that is a quick hit for getting in and letting people know kind of who you are, what you do. Now, this was at a convention. When you do this normally, we'd come for us filming. We'd come and we'd film your space a little bit. We'd get a couple of shots of you like shaking a hand, saying hello to a client or whatever it is. But the idea is that you answer basically 4 questions, which is who are you, what do you do, why is it important, how do I get a hold of you, or what's the call to action, depending on where they're seeing this video.
Locations that make the most sense for these things would be LinkedIn, through Facebook, through Instagram. If it's going to be a story, under a minute would be ideal.
Yeah.
Being on LinkedIn, you have a more professional setting, so people are more balanced and patient when it comes to what it is that you're pitching. But this is the exposure attempt. This is how it's going to get you out there, right? Whereas if you were to take it through the customer experience, the quick pitch might be the first thing that they see. And when they find your website that you mentioned how to find you, now that they're on their website, oh, what is this stuff? Oh, I have this question, I have this question, I have this question. Who do I contact to ask these questions to? Boom, value video.
Yeah.
But there might be something else, like which will be our next video, but you were to say something, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the quick pitch is actually fine to live at the top of an About Me page, and then deeper About Us things can be down below. Or this is one of my favorites, this is if you've got a generic email address, a hello at your company name. The quick pitch is a great thing to put down there inside of that signature. And that every time an email goes out, it's going to pop up. It'll show that little YouTube link if it's a YouTube link. So you got to make sure that that's a great spot to put your quick pitch. And then that's going to be that location's the same thing for the next video we talk about, which is, hey, if you have a sales team or if you have a service, a lot of the barrier to entry for people is they want to know will I be able to communicate well with this person? And you want to pass, we talk about the vibe check a lot in here. You got to be able to pass a vibe check. So the vibe check is one that a bio video is going to help you overcome that, I don't know if I'm going to get along with this person, but you can, it's a little bit like almost like a dating profile in a way where you okay, great. And I don't have to be as afraid of taking a live meeting with a person. So here's just a very quick, we don't need to show too much of a bio video because you'll get it, but let's show you what this kind of looks like.
I had a chance to experience the product after a few years of development. Very impressed and thought that there's no better place for me to invoke change on the industry from within this team. I'm Jared Gargano and I'm Head of Customer Experience for Evo Electric. I have an empathetic viewpoint on customer needs and a strong technical background. Married together, I have the ability to envision the art of the possible and execute it into reality.
All right, so let's back into it and give a quick overview. I know we're moving super duper fast. Just want to make sure we maximize the time for anybody, specifically you, Molly, to ask any questions later so that we can help you with your expertise. This video is rad in that, for you, in your case, who is the person who I'm working with? Who is the face? This is what Isaac was alluding to. And I want to give it just more fluff in the example of a real estate agent. If I have this Ernst & Haas real estate group, cool. Who am I going to be talking to? So to be on that website and say, oh, this is Ernst and this is Haas. Obviously crazy as example, but to have that smallest snippet of this is the individual. I know what they look like. I know who's going to be selling my house now. And that's a sensitive issue to have to sell a home you've lived in your whole entire life, or maybe it's your first purchase that your family's going to be growing into. So having that bridge to be able to build rapport before you're even present. We're trying to make ourselves as well equipped as possible so that when you actually have to do that handshake or that Zoom meeting or whatever it is to close that deal, they know so much about you and they have so much confidence in what it is that you're able to provide them that that conversation has little resistance as possible. And that's what we're getting through with these videos.
I don't know if I have anything to add.
All right, then what's the next example?
We have, once you've got some rapport, let's go back to our questions that people are asking, right?
Okay.
The biggest questions are usually once I understand the baseline of how much does it cost, what's it going to be like, what do you offer, I'm going to start looking into what my actual purchase is going to be. And so a customer wants to see how it's going to work, really kind of get into it. If I'm going to buy, I recently bought a bag, I geeked out about it. I spent hours looking for the right kind of bag. But once, even after I buy it, I still go back to the Amazon page. I don't know if you do this, where you look at the pictures again. You really want to kind of feel what it's going to be like to use this
As you're waiting
product.
for it to arrive?
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I think.
100%.
Who doesn't do this?
I know, I do that.
Because it's oh man, and you want to validate that you made a good decision. Because you're now well, I bought it.
Yeah.
Do I still? Well, you're looking. You do that with pictures. Imagine if you had a video breakdown of your product or service.
This guy's crushing right now. Keep it going, dude.
So that's why we have an explainer video that talks about the experience of your product or service. Let's do it.
Wow.
Welcome to My Music Workshop, a one-of-a-kind, hands-on preschool music experience. Our classes are entertaining, educational, and age-appropriate. Music is in our children's hearts, and we're here to help encourage their musical interest in a fun and engaging way. Our goal is to create a positive relationship with music at an early age and to build a musical foundation that will benefit our children's future. Not only are they having fun, but they're learning.
Hey, baby! We're not muted. Awesome. Okay, so awkward. Well, having the ability to say, this is what you're going to experience. I have nothing, I mean, he said it so perfectly, I'm not saying nothing else, bro. There's no point.
Yeah.
You crushed it.
Yeah, you can understand what you're gonna see. You can say, I get a sense for the vibe. It goes into the details of that specific program. Now, My Music Workshop has other things and other offerings, but for their Listen, Learn, Play program, that one's gonna give you a pretty good, that one's an overview, but our encouragement is you dive down into every product or service and you be as detailed as you can be, because a person who's interested in working with you, in buying your product or service, they will watch all of what you've got before they hit that buy button. And the more time they spend doing that, and you can almost not go wrong. The more time they spend, the more confident they're going to be. Because even if what they're seeing is cons, the time that they spent doing it, they're not spending that time with a competitor, they're spending that time with you. And if even some of that stuff is like well, now they have less fear about what they're not going to like once they make that purchase. So that's a really important part of these 7 videos.
Love that.
Where are we at? So, real quick review, we have the value video, the quick pitch, the bio video, the explainer. We're at 4 out of the 7 different types of videos.
Ooh, time check. Oh, we're crushing. Keep it going. We're good. Last time we didn't get this far.
Yeah, cool. Okay, the next one is, there's a different type of belief that a person can have.
Belief.
We use different ways, like how do you make, so the book I was listening to this morning was talking about, it started the chapter by like, how do you affect a person's belief? Small question, I know. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's hard to make a person do beliefs, but there's different things in our brain different channels that we tap into that allow us to choose our beliefs, including what we grew up with, but and like what our parents said. But a big one is, what do the people that we value, other people, say? And so we have this credibility thing, and you get credibility from what other people are saying, which leads us to the testimonial.
Excellent segue.
Are you recording now? Sure. So we use 7 Sun Media for our video. It's been an absolute game changer.
Good luck, XYZ competitor. You might be really good at it, but you just better be careful comparing your video with ours, because it's not going to be as good. It takes multiple videos over a period of time to be very good at it. You have to be willing to make some okay videos to get to pretty good videos, to awesome videos. The more content you create, the better you get at creating content, and the more there is to say.
If you need video content, I strongly recommend you start with 7 Sun Media.
Dude, Mike Dunphy's my hero. Mike Dunphy for president 2024.
Yeah, 2024.
All right, so this goes back to the philosophy that...
Berkeley for president, his daughter's gonna give him a run for his money.
I mean, I see that, but she has a long time before she's even capable, because
That's
she's
true.
7 years old.
That's true.
Everybody wants to be second, and no one wants to go first, right? We heard this concept before, and there was one particular rule in the court back in the day, where they would test the food before the king would eat it to make sure it wasn't poisoned, right?
Kind of court. I heard a very different. When you said court, I was thinking legal, but I hear you.
Different kind of court, the OG court, the kings and queens of the times. And then we have Yelp, the prowess that is Yelp. Can I guarantee that this is going to be a good space? What do the Yelp reviews say? What do the reviews say? You're shopping on Amazon for whatever it is, as you look at your pictures, the reviews. What can someone say about you that you can't say about yourself, right? Because they wouldn't believe you. But there's so much more credit when someone that you trust, like you said, says something nice about something that you want to do. So be able to have those videos supporting your business, so it's friends you've serviced, or it's people who you've worked with, or in your case, like machines that you've installed in their homes. It doesn't have to be this like lighting from every direction to make it make sense. There's a lot of simple ways to do that, where you just have the right correct light, the right setup, and say, quick, in 30 seconds or less, can you tell them a little bit about your experience with me? Oh, I love working with her because she changed my life, because she's super dope, and I feel so much better now that I have this machine in my life that I didn't have before. But that can live on your website, or even post through your social media channels. Hey, I just finished this incredible journey. This person's gonna say some really quick stuff. Check her out. So much gratitude for this person in reviewing my product or whatever it is. There's a lot to be said when it comes to that community trust that you're going to be creating when you make testimonial videos.
I want to spend a second to think about the kinds of questions a person would ask. I think it is not common to have to run an interview. It's not a skill that everybody has. So I want to just real quickly go through some of the things I would recommend if you do end up asking. So a couple of considerations. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters the quality of a testimonial if it's coming in, it's genuine. Because what a person's going to excuse, if I as a customer see a testimonial, even if it comes in with the selfie, the classic selfie, handheld camera, I'm just thinking this person sent in this testimonial. So there's already a lot of forgiveness in the formatting. But let's make sure that we get some of the things right. I want to know if I'm going to set the person up, and I think that it's okay for us to direct people and give them sound bites even, because what we're doing as directors and as editors is we're helping them put their best foot forward. And they're not actually going to say it out loud if they don't believe it. So giving them some instruction is good for you and good for them, because they're going to be nervous about what to say. So you want to ask them like, hey, how did you feel when you were looking for this product or before you had this service? What was going on with your feelings? You want to say, what was the experience like and what questions did you have when you found us, when you found my product or service? What was sort of that like, what was the process of going through the belief experience, going from not believing or going from suspicion, and what pushed you over the edge into getting the product or service? You want to hear then what it was like. It was more fun than I expected. It was smoother than I expected. It went faster. What are some of the pleasantries? You know what? It was exactly what I was expected, but that's nice because I didn't want surprises when it comes to the medication I'm taking or whatever. So you ask about what it was like. You ask, where are you? What's life like? And how is this affecting your world and behavior now? And then lastly, for somebody who is on the fence, and I've heard other people try to use similar but different language for this, and I'm going to recommend, I think that every word of this thing that I've been saying for many years now is almost perfect. And if I could find a better version, I will change. But I think that these words are almost perfect because I get great responses every time. It's for somebody else who is on the fence about getting this product or service or working with me, what would you say to that person? And I've heard people talk around that and give allowance to a different form of it. But it's really important to me because you want to say for somebody who's considering this product, right, you're lasering in on the people who are already in my court on my side, who hopefully are watching this video. It makes this cool assumption that they're actually on the fence, right? You're actually prescribing for the other people watching. You're saying, look, you're actually considering this even if they're not considering it now. They're putting themselves in the mindset of considering it. So you've moved them into, by assumption, the space of, oh, maybe I am considering this thing, which is sneaky but really effective. What would you say to that person is open enough where that you're not putting words in the mouth of the person. You're not going to say, you don't want the person that you're talking to in the interview, the person that you're directing, to overly direct in the sense of, because you need it to be genuine. You need this moment for the person to actually believe it. If you put words in their mouth on this one, if you said something like, for a person who's on the fence, can you tell us why they should choose, is not good. Because if you say, why should you choose? Now they're saying you should choose them. And now we're into the language of sales, and people shut off. So instead you leave it open-ended. What would you say to them? And they would say, and if they aren't honest, then they're going to say like, hey, you should really consider, this is a big deal. Make sure that you're thinking deeply about it. But if you tell them you should and they don't actually believe that, then that's going to register in their voice, and that's actually almost like an anti-testimonial, because all of a sudden it feels salesy. So, yeah, what would you say to this person? And then that's almost always gold.
That's nugget.
That's a nugget.
That's a nugget right there, boy.
So
let me tell you.
that's the 25 years of experience coming through.
That was fire.
Not quite 25 years personally on that one.
Yeah, no, I 100% back. I
But
asked the same exact question
let me-
myself differently. Yeah.
Side anecdote. This is a cute story, and I'm going to tell it because Happy Mother's Day. I was asked in. No, it's.
Keep it going, dude. Don't let my fucking shutting down stop your momentum. It's hilarious.
In my church when I was. I must have been 13 or 15. They asked me to make a video. 15 years old. Wow, geez. Almost 20 years ago. Holy crap.
Keep it going.
To make a video for Mother's Day where I was interviewing smaller children and having them give Mother's Day messages that they were going to play in the service. And so that was the very first, I think that was the very first round of interviews that I conducted solo mission. And it was with children.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I've been doing interviews since I was about probably 15. And so I've been cultivating this skill for a long time. That is 20 years of experience of interviews coming out.
Validated.
There you go.
All right. Well, what's the next video we want to talk about?
Let's go to the newsletter.
Oh.
What's up, everybody? This is Paris Spinney, creative director. Is this safe? Creative director of 7 Sun Media, and it is Halloween. And what is more Halloween than zombies? Am I right? Who's seen Shaun of the Dead? Not the point. We have some great information for you guys, some new updates from our team. It is firing out here in downtown Long Beach. I am so excited. Let's just get into it. We just shot this tremendous promo for the Long Beach Chamber of Commerce Young Professionals, aka LBYP. You gotta check it out. Dope, right? We hope to catch you guys at the event. Our whole
We got Paris.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's like weird. It's like, why is there? So, anyways, as I grab myself, the newsletter is super. Freaking cool when you're just skepticism. Welcome to the show. This is AV Club, baby. AV Club. Being able to keep the people informed of what the latest is, right? Having a newsletter. We do one once a month with Mike Dunphy, the videos that we've shot for the month, announcements, and things that people want to know. Because at the end of the day, this is the attention economy. And what was the stat? Like every minute, like 1 billion hours of video is added to YouTube, like something crazy.
Yes, every minute, 1 billion hours.
There's an actual number that he uses. It's not. It might be over like 2 million hours.
Okay, all right. It's so. The actual stat is, I think every minute is something like 30 hours, give or take. I mean, we'll check it, but it's something.
It's
closer
insane.
like every minute, 30 hours of content.
It's insane. And so we have so much, we're oversaturated with content. You know, like we don't have rock stars anymore the same way, we don't have movie stars the same way anymore. We'll go to see this movie in the silver screen because every platform has its own streaming service. We are inundated with so much content online. So being able to stay present, although our videos that we make, especially for the ones on the website, can last 5 years, right? But when it comes to how we're going to continually entertain our potential customers and clients, a newsletter is going to be that thing that lets people know, hey, I haven't been just sitting in a hole this entire time. I've actually been working, and this is what I've been up to lately.
Yeah. So in our businesses, there's a big contingent of folks who we are often left behind or not remembered, kind of forgotten about. Those are the ones who are already in our camp. And we might send out newsletters, but it's almost always an afterthought. In my experience, and I'm basing this on 20 years of getting emails or whatever.
That's hilarious. Keep it going.
The newsletters that come in are usually trash. It's self-indulgent garbage, spam, and we overlook it because it is not important and it's not an investment in us as the consumer. So this segment is an important segment because this is another step. Most of the work that we get comes from people we already know, people who are already in our sphere of influence. So our best bet, if we're trying to get a quick client, is to hit up the people who are already in our world. But a lot of our marketing efforts, a lot of our sales efforts, just something about it in the back of our mind, we spend a lot of that time and energy and effort trying to find new clients or fishing for people who haven't worked with us before, don't necessarily already have that relationship. It's got limits, but we're always kind of trying to create new things. Here's what's great about a video newsletter, and a newsletter in general, but a video newsletter in particular, is you're leveraging the stuff you've already made, you're leveraging the stuff you've already created to put it back into the cycle, to breathe new life into it, to move from the face-to-face relationship of trying to find a new client and moving into a side-by-side relationship. And we say like, hey, we're already kind of friends. Let me tell you what I'm up to, just in case you know anybody who's going to be able to help us out. Like, let me give you the tools that make you feel like an informed person working in our world. And so my video newsletter says, hey, I see you. Thank you for your support and your effort. I'm actually going to spend some actual time, effort, energy, some chops in informing you. That's what a video does. A video registers different in our, just to the consumer. A consumer says, oh, this is an investment in me, instead of just a straight advertisement. And they see your face, they feel like it's this sort of ongoing relationship. And so you take that old, you take some of those older relationships and you breathe new life into them, and then just by looking at how many people have responded to the video newsletters that we make for our clients, people are coming out of the woodwork, people you haven't talked to in years, who say, hey, that was cool, this is a good format, thank you for that. And then, by the way, I had forgotten, but I have a buddy who wants to sell a house or whatever now. Can I bring that person in here for you, or whatever?
Yes, and there's also the option of what is the content you put in the newsletter. I think this is our last video anyways, before we start getting to the hot seat. Am I right with that?
So we did have the landing page video, but it didn't queue up a website to go, but we should talk about the landing page
I
video
can
just
vamp while you
briefly.
look it up if you want to do that.
I think we could just talk about
All right,
it.
that's fine too. So yeah, what content can go into the newsletter, right? He mentioned a service. I like leaning into the news that is a newsletter, right? In an industry, and in case Dunphy doesn't, well, he kind of does a little bit. He does two things. He offers a book recommendation that he's read, which is really badass, and he also mentions the state of the market, which is also super duper important. When it comes to our business, maybe it's new technology, maybe some new eye situation that's been released. Hey, this might be affecting the way that you do your business. Here's the latest on the water in Flint. Here's the latest on whatever the industry might be. Here are some things to consider. If you're a union-based hospitality or hotel in that industry, it might be here's the latest info on the strike in case you are wondering what to do and where you could stay. So there's becoming a point of authority and information can be quite fruitful for those who are taking a cool advantage of the newsletter.
Yes, cool. No further questions on the newsletter.
Awesome. Yes, pinky out. So the last video that we don't have before we started going into our little one-sheet cheat sheet is the landing page.
Yeah. Cool. Landing page videos are important. A lot of websites, when you go to them, if you've had the experience, we start to get template fatigue. And so the landing page video does one last thing, which is as a person is navigating through your space, it breaks the clinical website out of its clinical state and makes it into a real interaction again, because you put a video specific to that web page on the top of that website, on the top of that page. So that landing page gets some feedback from me saying, hey, welcome to our About Us page. On this, you're going to see bios from all of our team. We update this thing twice a year.
Keep going. I forgot
Take
something.
a look at all of our, here, I'll just
Keep going. I forgot something.
There he goes. So we put it, or we go to something like, hey, this is our service page. Here's how it functions. At the bottom, you're going to see a call to action, the next step if you decide you want to use a service with us.
The iPad.
Well, I got it here, so hold on. I didn't get that ready to go.
Okay.
Didn't have time.
Sorry about that. As you were,
worries.
my B, trying to be helpful and not helpful at the same time. Welcome to Paris as well. But yeah, the landing page, keep it going.
Makes the website much more alive, much more engaging, gives people a sense that that it's actually up to date. It's easy to wonder, is this up to date? Is this the most relevant and up to date information? If there's a video on it, again, people somehow unless the video looks really old, or you look radically different than what they're expecting. It keeps it fresh. It makes it really, really
approachable
alive.
and interesting, and
Yeah.
it's not boring. Dude. Let's keep it real. One of the websites that we have what is the word? Opportunity to bless, I guess, is Evolectric. When you go into evolectricnow.com, the very first thing you see is this landing page video.
Evolectric now.
Evolectricnow.com. I mean, and so you see what they're doing. They see their car, they see the updates. If you were to go to the Dream Inn Hotel right now in Santa Cruz, behind the desk is a landing page essentially, but just different location. When you're checking into the hotel, our video that we made for them plays right behind the reception, seeing all the cool things that you can do while you're at this hotel. So the ability to advertise, if you would, use the word softly, the activity, the services, the personalities that are going to be the ones you're engaging with as a client. This is a really quick, sneaky way to get that without really registering it consciously. Because I go on the website, boom, the web page opens. Oh, there's an about me, there's a service, there's a contact us, and oh, look at that cute little video. And you scroll down, you've already affected them right then and there. You have your attention for that little bit of seconds. Because when you look at the eye tracking of a person on a website, we're avoiding all the apps possible, looking at the about us, the services, the contact us. We jump, boom, right into the most important thing, which is probably the FAQ or how much it's going to cost. But I digress. Let's get to the topic that we all came here for, and that is that one sheet, dude. Whoa, one sheet.
So check it out. Okay, we got to move the thing so it's not in the way. Get out of the way here.
I want to see it too.
So this, my friends, we have decided that this is too important, and this information, this learning is too important. So we've made it accessible to everybody. We want to make sure that this is something that anybody can have and follow. Now here's what's great. We can tell you the formula, but ain't no way what you're going to get and create for yourself is going to be what we do. So this is important and it needs to happen. It's going to make an impact. But at the same time, coming to us and having us help you walk through this process, like we're not afraid of minimizing our own impact by giving this away. So this is kind of how cool it is it's powerful, and it's even more powerful in the hands of some creative professionals. So we love this. Welcome to our cheat sheet. This is how what we recommend every business go through. And here it is. Here's your checklist of videos. You've got your value video, your quick pitch, your video newsletter, your biography videos, your testimonials, your service explainers, and your landing page videos. So you can check them off as you go through. Check. Write them. Draw little X's or put a sticker on it. Whatever is kind of your fancy.
I like stickers.
It's not a bad idea. We should send it with a pack of stickers if we print these out.
Little
This is designed. We hopefully make it pretty enough where it's a poster. We were thinking of even printing these out. I have an 11 by 17 version. This is the 18 by 24 version. This thing could be big, and it's supposed to be super helpful. As you're going into your own videos and you want to know, hey, I want to do a value video next. Here it is. Here's your quick breakdown of what the value video includes. Gives you a quick answer the most common questions. Here's what you do. Write out the 5 questions. Make sure you include price. Don't just give it away. You gotta get an email address in exchange for the value video. Don't gatekeep, don't brag, don't promise, don't creep. And going through that whole process. Same thing with testimonials, video newsletters, landing page videos. Here's the whole how you do it. Here's how you help yourself. And then we've got some video tips on the right-hand side. And you can check out, hey, if you want to do a video and you don't exactly, and you want to get kind of some pointers, right here for you. Practice your smile in the mirror. I know it's weird, but if you don't do that, you're not going to feel confident in front of a camera.
For sure.
Here's a great one. Don't stop talking. If you're going to record yourself, a lot of people, and I did this yesterday. As soon as you get in the cycle of stopping talking and starting over from the beginning, you lose the thread. I don't know what it is about just the rule. Don't stop talking. Get through the whole thing, and then maybe repeat if you need to. But don't stop talking. Makes a big difference. So here's your pro tips. Moving down, if you want to help yourself, here's our kind of pick your poison. We've got a few free, hard to learn, the ones we use. Some iPad stuff, and then CapCut for mobile editing. You You got your different ones. You got some, if you want to spice up your content, add some music. You got some resources. You got your standard ratios for reference. If you're putting stuff up on a different channel, here's your kind of like, hey, I need to make a video. Should this be portrait, landscape, how big? Well, a lot of people, I mean, here's a surprising one, right? Like that a landscape Instagram post isn't your standard what you'd expect. Here is something like 1080 by 720, but here it's 1080 by 608. It's just strange, but that's just the way it is.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and you know, these change with some regularity, which is why we're going to probably update this every year. And then, you know, if you need to get a hold of us, here's your contact info.
Boom.
And that is a cheat sheet. We will get this to you after the meeting. If you're interested in it, shoot us put your email down, or maybe Paris knows your email.
No, put it in the chat.
And then we will make sure to get you a copy if you want. And if you don't want it, no big deal.
I think she want.
Stop the share.
I think even iPhone. Let me check with my NSA
Apple.
agent. iPhone says very good. No, they don't want anything. Very cool. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Well, with that said, we want to just jump into this hot seat. It's getting kind of cold out. Oh my God. That's so, it never gets old. This is a cuts me off immediately. So the hot seat is our opportunity to talk to you, Molly, about what it is that you do, basically the quick pitch, right? Who are you? What do you do? Why is it important? How to find you? And then the special one today is going to be, how can we help? What is the bottleneck? What is something that you want help with, guidance with? And you have us until, what is it, 11:30? We're still setting it to 11:30? You have us for a long ass time, girl. So you might as well take full advantage of these two gentlemen wearing Christmas hats. The floor is yours.
Oh, okay, well, this is an actual perfect opportunity for where I'm at, like in my business, because I'm in the space of like reimagining how I want to present what I offer. Because like ultimately, there's several things that I'm working on, but one of the things that I'm focused on specifically within this is my water business. So I connect people to medical grade water ionizers, and that like something as simple as changing your water can change your life. I've experienced it and I see it in my clients and the people that I work with. And so I've been wanting basically this, like an outline of how to communicate what it is that I'm doing in a way that is clear and answers the questions that people need, people have when they first hear about it, right? Because there's like, people come from a lot of different backgrounds to meet this product, and there's not a lot of information. Most people haven't heard about water or different types of water, all of these things. And then there's also this, like personally, I'm like differentiating myself and what I bring to the table from the market of other distributors of this product as well. And so that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Cool. Love that.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff happening right immediately. Yeah. First thing is like, is there a concise version? Like, have you ever practiced your elevator pitch?
Yeah.
First and foremost, that'd be the first thing I'd ask. Because it's like,
kind of, but not. I'm sure I could refine it. Yes.
Okay, cool. So maybe we try, just the first thing is let's do, I kind of want to do a live version of the elevator pitch. And we'll just answer these questions. And because this is how it's going to happen organically, is people will ask questions like, you're standing in line at the bathroom for a convention. Oh, hey, welcome. Who are you? What do you do? What are you doing here at the con? And that would be an opportunity.
Okay.
Are you role playing right now? I'm confused about what's happening.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
asking
just
her to
saying,
set it
like,
right now? Okay, I had to clarify as well. We're not alone in this.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we're role playing officially right in this moment. We're at the bathroom at a convention. He's the guy standing in front of you. Got it.
Hey, so welcome to the con. What are you doing here?
I'm here sharing about the medical water ionizer device that I help people connect people to their homes.
Actually, that's really good because immediately a couple of questions like go through my mind. You've got the conversation started, which is pretty much, the whole point of an elevator pitch.
Cool.
I would wonder if there's any extra unique thing, or if it's different. I think I would want something concrete to hold on to. I'm talking about concreteness. Is this ionizer? Yeah, it's like most people have a water filter in their fridge. This is a whole different system. It lives underneath your sink. That we're changing the chemical formula of the water or whatever it is. Something that's sort of short and quickly gets people into the like, oh, it's different.
What I saw immediately is what triggered me to be very curious about it was how you're adding a hydrogen molecule to the water itself, right? It could be as simple as I'm connecting people to these modern machines that I install into their homes. And honestly, what I thought really interesting was the science behind it. I didn't know that you could add another hydrogen molecule to water and change its chemical composition. That alone is like, this girl a scientist, what are you talking about in this bathroom? Right? That may be something to add that little more of interest, buy-in from the person you're talking to. What makes it different?
Is it what is the chemical? Is it H3O?
You can talk about it through the lens of like it's H3O2, because basically the device is the water goes through a process of electrolysis, so that there is H2. So that's where the therapeutic benefits from the water are coming from the hydrogen molecules that are in the dissolved hydrogen gas. And what's really fascinating is that this dissolved hydrogen gas is really exponentially growing in the field of medicine as in its ability to treat foundationally a lot, like anything in our body, because we are made of water, and the molecular hydrogen hydrates us on an epigenetic level, because it's like the smallest molecule on the periodic table. Like we take in this dissolved hydrogen gas, the water is the carrier of this dissolved hydrogen gas, and then that gas goes anywhere in our body that it needs support, because that hydrogen gas is able to eliminate hydroxyl free radicals. Yeah.
This, what you just said, needs to be the service explainer.
Yeah, I mean, that's
right. Like a video that takes people through this process, and by put on your third grade teacher hat, and then how do I do a third grade version of this thing and record it and give this is when people are doing the research. It's just you've heard of dihydrogen monoxide. Let's talk about trihydrogen dioxide or whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a video there for sure. And I like the step process of this, because we're still on the elevator speech section, because of being able to get concise and then going into the videos. Obviously, we have a lot of time for this, so I'm not really worried about
we're talking
back and
around
forth.
these different ideas.
I like the routine and how we're going to get you to the eventual newsletter when you have the customer that you're going to consistently be talking to, right? Who are you? What do you do? Why is it important? And something to consider. I mean, we're not going to have it down packed today. It's not going to happen. But to say, who are you? What do you do? Maybe why you find it interesting, and therefore why it's important, and then how to find you would be something to write down in the future to get into what it is that is going to be said whenever you meet somebody new.
So my favorite thing to do is to talk about next steps. What is today the thing that is preventing you from moving forward, do you think? What would be your next bottleneck? Is it a logo? Is it lack of a website? Is it lack of a strategic plan? Do you have any sense?
It's I would say probably the strategic plan is coming into form. So it's that's kind of what I'm focusing on, because I do want a website. Like I said, kind of at the beginning, I'm at this change point where I'm bringing more structure into what I'm building, because thus far there's been a lot of gathering of information through experience.
Got it. What resources do you have already? For example, do you already have a product and a package?
Yes, I have a product and I have a logo, and I do have an Instagram page, but I've not felt a lot of energy to put things on there, because there's been this I don't want to be creating on a hamster wheel without this background intention of this of having the
funnel,
right? Yeah, the strategy. So the next thing is the actual package, right? If you're just selling a product, well, let's back this up. I'm going to posit as a marketing professional that nobody is ever selling just a product. that everything that we're selling is a package, even if all that package is a product plus a vibe. But you're selling health plus your product.
Interesting.
You're selling a feeling plus the thing that you're selling. So
Yes.
if we haven't figured out what that package is yet, I think our next step is we got to figure out what is the package of the things that we're selling and a price point, because that's going to give a lot of freedom to our next thing. We can't sell it unless we know how much we're going to charge people for it and what they're getting. So, hey, buy from me. Okay, great. What are you selling? Oh, it's this thing. Okay, great. How much does it cost? Oh, well, it depends. Okay, well, come back to me when you've got some information. That's kind of the first step. So we're happy to we're happy to work with you on those sorts of things. Some of that might be stuff you got to do on your own. I don't know if we can help you with the price point. If we can, happy to chat about it. But that would be a thing, is just nailing down that price and then believing in it. And it's worth what it's worth.
Believing in it is not an issue here, I don't think at all. It's more so maybe the consideration of how much emotional power and influence it has over the buying decision, right? Because like you mentioned, it's interesting to say that you're selling health benefits, right? I don't know if it's legal to claim it'll cure this or that or the other, but you can lean into how this is going to be a product that's going to filter out the negative aspects of yourself and chemically speaking. In other words, by changing the water constitution, like you mentioned, hydrogen is going to find that issue and going to put itself in that space to help you heal. Like you're selling health, you're selling an abundant mentality, an abundant mindset and lifestyle, because it's more than just an ionizer. It is your decision to taking your life seriously and being a healthy individual. I mean, even the scarcity of clean water. How much money do you spend on water bottles? How much money do you spend on all this filtration? How much money do you want to spend? And how much does this cost? How much are you spending a year on bottled water? You know, like how much are you contributing to the Pacific Garbage Patch? There's so many like questions you can ask a person back, like, you know, I do this because I care about the environment, and then you have a different approach. I do this because I care about being a strong individual. I can do this because I care about living longer. I care this because if I got from my friends this bottled water or in a jug, then I know that they're going to make healthy decisions too, right? That's all part of this package he's talking about.
Yeah, and I would like to make sure that as we're having this conversation, we're not doing too much ad speak, and instead we're answering the questions that people have. This is sort of new for me, and I'm still trying this on for size. I'm still working with clients and figuring out the best way to get over this, because like we can say things that register as adsy, like, oh, how much are you contributing to the garbage patch, is now like I'm feeling pressure put on me instead of I need to be answering the questions that a person has. So there are ways like, hey, are you looking for a way to be motivated to drink more water? Like, what are the questions that a person's going to be asking when they find you? And then again, intercepting that moment of curiosity. But I would say be careful about throwing guilt around, because people don't like responding to guilt messaging.
Yeah, I like to focus on the solutions that we're providing, as like where there's like that pre-frame of you already are aware of the problems and therefore you're looking for the solutions that I have.
Okay.
Like preventing
Interesting.
the trash from ending up in that Pacific Garbage Patch, which, by the way, is the size of like 2 Texases. Like,
that's wild.
Yeah.
Texas is huge.
Is it 2 Texases? That's crazy.
It got bigger.
Or
since the last
3
time I checked.
Texas. I was just watching a video last night about it.
That's so unfortunate, dude. Because I remember how they were trying to deny it ever existed. And at one point, it's going to be so undeniably huge that it's going to ruin California.
It's going to just end up like with dirt on top of it and its own little landmass. And the floating island.
Ecosystem. And there's going to be garbage people who are going to like want to vote.
There's probably already a
then
community of children living on this thing off the garbage.
Yeah.
Floating around.
Creating their own
like
community.
little trash Carusos.
Yeah, dude. Trashtopia. Garbage Patchawana.
I'd watch that Pixar movie.
I would be 100% going to, if there's not a documentary coming out about, not a narrative, cartoon narrative about the Pacific Garbage Patch as like its own entity.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, I'd watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's not like sad. It's just sad that this is a movie that actually works somehow. That's what's really sad
What
about
are you going to do with it all? Just clean it up and like send it to space? Is that how's the human race figure this out?
It's the bacteria that they've trained to eat styrofoam.
Oh my gosh.
There are solutions. That's what's cool. It's like there are solutions to the problems that are out here, but we have to be focusing on the solutions, not the problems. Like people get so lost in the like, I can't do anything about this giant garbage patch. But then you can also zoom out and say like, well, what happens when you stop buying all this plastic? You know, like this machine eliminates not only plastic water bottles, but also like cleaning products and beauty products. Like there's a lot of layers of like change that happens from one decision. It's just like to that decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
I like this.
Interesting.
There's something there.
There's a lot of downstream. So what we're talking about right now is campaigns, right? So this is all campaign talk versus more like the brand of the business, and that would be the next thing that maybe we can talk about today. Is what is the brand? Now, in our space, recently my brain's been in marketing land. Last year was brand land. Let's go back in time and talk about branding for a moment. A brand, so my own definition, everybody's gonna have their own definition of what a brand is. In-house here, this is my working definition, and I like it and I think it works. A brand is what a customer is saying about themselves by choosing your service or product. By choosing your business, what am I saying about myself? My favorite kind of exercise is to think about known brands and what are we saying about ourselves when we choose that brand. Okay, so I recently have become kind of a fan of a few outdoorsy brands. Columbia, Prana, and weirdly enough, Lululemon. So what am I saying about myself when I choose to buy something from Columbia, right? Not cocaine, just to be clear.
Oh my god. I didn't say it this time. That's hilarious. This is we get the answer. Yeah, what are you saying? You're saying I like nature. I like silence. I like being in the great motherland.
Here's kind of my take, and I haven't done Columbia before, but Columbia might have their own slogan. I don't exactly know what it is. Could probably look it up. That might be a fun way of checking out a brand investigation
I love
for
that.
Columbia.
Yeah, it's
and find out what their slogan is.
I'll jump on the website and go see what it is.
If you want to pull it up on your phone, that might be the lowest hanging fruit.
Okay.
But what I'm saying about myself when I choose Columbia is I'm picking a practical article of clothing. I'm picking practical outdoorsy wear because it's not flashy or showy the way that a lot of outdoorsy stuff can be. It is a very practical garment most of the time. This stuff it's good looking, but it's a little bit yuppie, young, upwardly mobile, kind of that more towards like golf and middling as opposed to like so youthful. It's practical garments, and I appreciate that. So that's kind of what I'm saying about myself, and that's the brand of Columbia, practical outdoors clothing. Lululemon, I think what they have is comfortable, comfortable, minimalistic, bold activewear. And so what am I saying about myself when I choose Lululemon? I think I'm choosing, I want like attention for, like minimalistic attention, bold activities. There we go. Maybe it's bold activities for Lululemon.
Interesting. I have a lot of keeping you outdoors since 1938, Columbia.com.
So that slogan says that they're doing it's timeless. It's timeless outdoorsy clothing. Also, I didn't know it was that long. That's great. That's cool. So when we're talking about brands, we are not talking about slogans. We're not talking about Nike's "Just Do It," right? The brand of Nike is hard work and working through the pain for bettering myself. That's the brand of Nike. "Just Do It" is a slogan that says to you, this is hard and I want to stop, but just do it. You're going to be better. So that's all kind of encompassed in their slogan. So for you and your brand, a good next step might be to think, what is it that I want people to say about themselves in the choosing, and then feeding that into the way that you build your logo, feeding that into the way that you build the business, because that's going to be a super upstream thing that trickles down. And Seventh Sun Media is still figuring it out, by the way. I think that we have a great aesthetic here, and we do a lot of stuff, but I don't know that we've practically figured out what our actual brand is. So it can come with time, but we've got an aesthetic. We've got everybody needs video as our slogan, and that's going to be informing the way that we build our products and services.
I mean, it's hard to say in a sense of like, in our specific branding. I feel it's fair to put you in the spotlight, put ourselves in the spotlight. What is somebody saying about themselves when they choose Seventh Sun Media as their video marketing agent? Top of the mind says they're choosing, they want self-discovery. They want to be told in a powerful light. That's someone who is maybe not certain, but they want to be certain about their messaging when they work with us. It's been a consistent thing where we receive the compliment of, you guys make me feel very good in front of the camera. You guys make me feel like I know my business better than I have before, and I feel so much more confident knowing what I've said on camera with you guys than I have ever before. So there's something to be said there. Now, what is the branding for everything else? From the water, am I making a healthy decision? Am I choosing earth instead of plastic or humanity? There's a lot of things, and I like that as a springboard for, the value video, because they're almost in conjunction, right?
Yes.
Like, if this is what I'm saying about myself, and we lean to this being a truth, now what is the question that is going to be asked of me, because this is who I'm saying I am when I align with you? To keep the thread, I feel it makes sense to follow your thread more so than anything else. So and we'll just play with, the brainstorming aspect of all of this. What do you feel someone is saying about themselves, Molly, when they choose your branding in your company, which is called what, by the way? I don't think you've ever mentioned the name.
Okay, so my brand is called The Fourth Phase of Water.
The Fourth Phase of Water. Love that. Cool. So what is someone saying about themselves by choosing the fourth phase of water?
Okay, well, so let me zoom out for a second. So one of the things that's interesting about like this specific business is that like I am an independent distributor. So I don't personally have to like create the product. Like I work in conjunction with an original equipment manufacturer to bring the product to clients. So like part of my brand is like, so the product, the company, Enagic has its own brand like that makes these products. And then I'm getting to create my own brand within like distributing that product. And so like I'm getting like part of this process is like we're discussing kind of like being able to articulate what they're getting, not only with like investing in this product with this company, but they could invest with plenty of other distributors, but like what they're getting when in working with me. And so the fourth phase of water is what is kind of like I'm still like building out as far as like how to express it, but it's more the intention is like this an interconnected network of people who are investing in self-transformation, starting like who recognize that like hydration is a foundation of health and wellness and are wanting to work with like connect with other people who recognize that and invest in themselves in that way.
So you can be a community leader in all of this, right? Like the kind of community that you're going to be forming by those who are choosing the invested in themselves and the healthy lifestyle, essentially, right?
Yeah, and I'm still kind of like personally balancing like how much I don't like the vision is less about me being a community like, yes, I step into like leadership in the ways that I want to, but I'm also not looking to build it into a community where like I'm the only leader, like and I'm also, like this business already has interconnected me with other like entrepreneurs and other leaders. And that's what I want to continue to cultivate within my brand, is like, it's not like it's an interconnected web of people who are leading their ship, in a sense, like leading their lives in whatever other aspects that they're also thriving in. And so I guess if we're talking about like, what do people get when they sign up with, or like when they work with the Fourth Phase of Water or invest, I see it as like an investment in themselves and an opportunity to connect with others who like are also invested in themselves. And I say that because it's like they're investing in energy, in themselves on like a very cellular level, and that like creates change within people's lives that like, can't always be put into words. I mean, sure, we can put them into testimonial videos and things like this, but like there is like transformation that can be catalyzed on a health level, on like mental health, physical health, spiritual
It
health.
transmits to other aspects of the body, the human experience, if anything.
Exactly. I get kind of zoomed out in that.
I don't know why I immediately jumped to Mercury, like the messenger god, where like you're in between, like you're the angel carrying the message from the heavens to the people. There's something in, I don't know, that's like the first visual. Maybe it's I'm a romantic and all. There's something to be said in that you are the chosen messenger into the craft that is the healthy lifestyle, the healthy aspect, the means to the clean water source.
Yeah, and I guess like, so even bouncing off of that, like the brand vision specifically, I'm wanting it more to be like something that's like clear, like these kinds of videos I'm wanting to create like clear and concise, like direct information, so that like information that can be communicated to a lot of different people. So there's like this ability to communicate the neutral information that can change people's lives as easily and simply and directly as possible. Like I'm wanting to differentiate from the world of like like you've been talking about, like needing to like sound markety or advertising, but like more just like communicating so that
Education.
people can make decisions.
So with the strategy, and I think what we're going back to is, it sounds like there's a lot of great, intentions and a lot of great foundational philosophy. There's now an opportunity to say, okay, we got to make some decisions, and I think that's the next step. It sounds to me like it's the next step is to make some decisions. As far as getting your branding off the ground and getting your video, like, and to start making some videos. The first one that I think that we should work on is probably, a quick pitch video might be a really great starting spot. Because if the quick pitch, to have the quick pitch ready to go, you're going to need to know who you are and what you do and what you're selling and how people get a hold of you. Now, by making the quick pitch means that you're going to have figured out all of those things. So you'll have had to make decisions. As always, permission to go back and change things after. You're not setting it in stone when you make a quick pitch video. You can always re-record it later on. But what's nice about it is you're also setting it in stone. I'm making these decisions. It's concrete now. And you're doing everybody a favor by going through a process of making it easy to understand what the next steps are. So quick pitch video might be our first, I think, the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, that's what I would also prescribe. And again, it's a work in progress. You want to hear us do it? I feel like it's kind of fair to like throw it out there. You want to hear Isaac's quick pitch? Let's Rochambeau, dude. I'm down to send it, but I want to see it.
I got you. It's cool. You put me on the spot, then I shouldn't resist being put on the spot in that way.
All right, cool.
All right, Seven Sun Media is a video-first production agency, a creative agency located here in Long Beach. Now, video has, for a long time, you've known us as a video agency, but as a creative full-service marketing agency, it's two sides. On one side is the video production, which is the obvious on-the-nose side, and on the other side is creative content strategy. And if you want to be successful in your business, you can't just have the content and throw it into the wind and hope that it does something. You also have to have a strategy to go with it. Simonson Media does both with excellence. So when you work with us, we're going to give you the videos you need to start making a difference in your bottom line instantly. And then we're going to be able to figure out what's going to make a difference long term. And then we're going to make it impossible for you to ignore as we create awesome, kick-ass content and videos that look great for you.
Who is he? What does he do? And why is it important? Quickly. It took us a long time to get there, and he just added the strategy part. We've been working and fishing that or shopping that recently, right? But when it came down to looking at the drawing board, if you would, the blueprints of it all, the ability to say, this makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense. You start constructing this perfect tower, and things just start to blossom after that. And it's what I'm receiving is I'm only reiterating because I know I understand. Is that there's a lot of stuffs where we gotta get down to the wire. What is the smallest, lowest hanging fruit that's gonna help you start then putting the pieces together? There is the quickest path to success is gonna be knowing how to quickly explain what it is and what you do and why it's important. Everything else is gonna, I really feel that everything else is going to fall in line directly after that moment.
Yeah. Figuring out the core pieces of the business.
There it is, core pieces. Thank
are
you.
going to have it's what I call upstream. All that information is upstream. And then the stuff is going to start to flow. And this is why I think video is so important. It's not only important for other people, but it's important for you as a business, editorial you, because it's going to force us to make decisions. We're going to be forced to figure our own stuff out. And if we don't, like, video is a great way to say, I'm doing this now, and if I don't know what that's supposed to be, then I have to figure it out to get there. And that's sort of why having our liftoff package is so nice, because it does those things. We hear what it's like for other client, we hear what it's like for what the service is and how it works. Just are kind of fixing a lot of those things. With other things as you're moving forward with the business, I think just having a lot of business experience, I want to be able to, and I've worked with a number of CEOs and coaching programs, and then been in classes with 30 other CEOs trying to figure this kind of stuff out. So I'm trying to spend a lot of time just trying to help small business. Ooh, sorry. I accidentally slapped my hand down.
Hilarious.
Just put this up here.
Uh-oh.
Just out of the danger zone.
Oh, damn.
Getting up and getting out there and starting to sell this stuff and not fighting too hard with getting it perfect, but just going is a big part of what makes it, what is going to make us successful. It's really easy to say we're going to do a lot of stuff, and then to not actually get up and just sell, not actually just start reaching out and making these things. Other things that need to happen are, if you don't have a CRM, I think to keep track of people and take money in, like
Client relationship model?
client relationship manager.
Manager.
So a way to keep track of your clients. There's a bunch of softwares out there. There's a bunch of things that'll do it. A mix of different ones. If you're ever interested in some of those ideas, we'd be happy to chat with you about that. But establishing a way to just kind of do that intake process. I'm leaning more now on funnels. I didn't like it as much, but like a funnel is a really important concept. Where does a person go? And having a package ready to sell them and saying, this is your next step, this is your next step, this is your next step, this is your next step. And recently we have kind of now 2 main funnels for us. AV Club is a big funnel. We're putting people into this space so that once they come in and see how we work, and a lot of it is not only just getting their own feedback, but they can see our vibe check. They can hear the kind of help that we give to people and what that process is like, and say like, hey, if you're gonna do this, then we're gonna actually sit down like we have here today and really dive into it. expecting that we don't just have an hour, but that we've got much more time. If we were working with you long term, we'd say like, great, what do we do? And then we'd come up with our very next step instead of trying to do this big overview. And that then the process is get a consultation. So that's the next step in the funnel. And then I know the website that we send them to get that consultation. And then I've got the price thing set out for them to kind of feed the, to get the contract rolling. Having each of those sort of next steps is a part of the funnel process. And then our other funnel is we've got basically Chamber of Commerce people coming in through a separate one. Oh, Bree catching the last 9 minutes.
Love that.
Here she comes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was that helpful, Molly? I mean, did we crush it or nah? Yeah.
Definitely super helpful. Yeah, thank you so much. There's a lot of things that I'm chewing on now with.
Perfect. I love that. I love that. I mean, I guess giving Bree the last 9 minutes to send it. I don't know where she's at. She's no camera, no microphone. But we're gonna talk to you. Oh, microphone's hot.
Hi.
Here she comes.
What's
I don't
up,
think you really
dude?
want to see me on camera right now, but I'm
I
here.
do. Look at that beanie.
Hey.
Love that.
I feel like we should go skateboarding. Do you get that vibe too?
Punk. Punk fire. Well, we're actually in the hot seat section of our little show here. Oh snap! He's gonna do it. Dude, that graphic is sick. Shout out to Jap Punk. All right, the hot seat is our favorite section of the show where we give you the opportunity to tell us who you are, what you do, why it's important, and then how we could help. You got 9 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, go, Bree Smith.
Hi, my name is Bree Smith. I am a writer and content creator. I specialize in cannabis-related content. I just got back from a tour across the U.S. capturing content that I now have to edit. I'm in that process now. It is daunting and terrifying.
Righteous. Now, how can we help?
Why don't you edit it all for me?
For sure,
That's good.
dude.
Yeah, we got a package for that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I think right now, the thing that I'm struggling the most with is I have thousands of videos that I now have to compile into a series of episodes. I think for me, the hardest part has been writing the scripts to do voiceovers, and then creating kind of the storyline through all of the pieces and kind of being able to fill in the gaps of, like, if I didn't catch a certain segment, or, you know, maybe I started filming once somebody already started talking, then I have to kind of fill in those spaces in between with some narration and maybe some on-screen conversation about what's going on to kind of lead people into it. And just like, I'm not familiar with a ton of storyboarding. I'm really coming at this as a novice and having to produce something that doesn't look very novice. So I really threw myself into the deep end here, but I'm willing to do all of what it takes, but I just kind of feel a little bit lost in the preparation process of getting all of that.
Yeah.
Dude, I still love this one. This is the editor's.
Oh, man.
This is his bread and butter. I'm just gonna sit down and take my little jingle ball out really quick as he does his thing. Go for it, dude.
My very first thought here, I would say lower the self-expectation. Being able, like, having an impossible standard for yourself, especially when you're sitting on this much content, it can be overwhelming, and it can lead to seizing up instead of moving forward. So I would say it's just like what they say is perfection is the enemy of good. Right? I think that's the way it goes.
I agree to
Perfect
that.
is the enemy of good.
At least of ease.
So getting it done is going to be a hugely important, vital step in this process. There's different ways of going into the world of how do I find the story, how do I figure it out. So the question is, at this moment, do you feel like you've got a pretty good sense of the story that you want to tell, and you're just now trying to figure out how to find the voiceover, or sort of where are you at in that process?
I feel like I have, like, the general theme of it was one part cannabis tourism, and another part is like supporting the mom and pop cannabis brands. So really staying away from the more like MSO type multi-state organization cannabis brands that are often from like the corporate side of things, people investing money. So it's really about supporting small business and also kind of creating a guide for people who are traveling and who want to experience like really great cannabis from mom and pop sort of artisan people. So that piece of it I feel like is pretty strong, but like actually being able to dictate that story from start to finish and like why people should go to this spot, that's kind of where I'm getting hung
I
up.
don't want to interrupt, just for sake of time, we're going to keep it moving. Do you have a template episode ready to go yet? Okay, great. This is going to be, I think, a big suggestion. Find the easiest one, the one you're most excited about on the whole list, and do the one that's easiest. Crush one episode and use it as a template, I would say, is the first thing, and I would use that as the storyboard.
Nice.
If you've got a bunch of mom and pop shops, if there's one that comes together more easily than the rest of them, start there. And then feel good about getting one that's like, okay, cool. And even if you don't like it, then you'll know what you don't like. The process of getting through one is going to solve some of the questions that you've got, which is great. Second thing, if I were you, if I had all of that footage and I was sitting on top of it, my own process would be this. I wouldn't think about a storyboard. I would instead go through, I'd pull it into a program like Premiere Pro, one where I can have every clip lined up. I'd make sure that it was chronological, I think. For me, I would do it chronologically unless I knew there was a good reason to not do it chronologically, but I'd set it up with my clips chronological, and then I would start watching every clip, and then do what I call my ins and outs. I do my clip finder process, where I'm finding the usable footage, where I'm playing and I'm saying in, out on each clip, and pulling into a timeline the best pieces of every clip. And then what I'm going to end up with is a timeline down below with every interesting section of every interesting clip. It's a time-consuming son of a bitch. But what happens every time I do this is I find the story. I find the best story by doing this process.
I hear that too.
And it is a bear. Now, the second part of it, when I used to do this for weddings, if I just sat down and did it, I'd be done in a day, maybe a day and a half of doing this process. I understand if you've got kids running around the house and all these other things, it is an extra challenge, because getting into flow is a really important part of this process. But once you're in flow of finding the best clips, like best clips flow, you knock it out if you can get into that flow state. Not being in flow is going to take you 5 times, I think an actual 5 times longer than doing whatever it takes to carve out the time, turning off the phone, turning off the internet, and just doing best clips. It's hard. And that is not necessarily an encouraging thing, but it is worth it if you actually want to save time and get it done fast. Best thing to do is find flow in getting through those clips. That's going to solve, for me, that's what would solve a lot of my issues with storyboarding, with interviews, with what people need to say, with inspiration. That is kind of where I expect to do a lot of the hardest work, is in that clip finding process. That's my experience on that one. Paris, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to be conscious of my own time, because I got to make sure I jam out of here. I have the next thing happening. I have a lot more questions. I'm bummed that you got here a little late, because I don't know if we can get there.
Sorry, I tried.
It's okay. It's okay. No worries. Does every shop have its own story? I guess I'm not really sure about the episodic content you're trying to create here. What is it? One big piece, or you said small episodes? So it's like by shop.
I'll do this super fast. There's 5 states, and I visited shops in each state. So each episode will be a state: Minnesota, Missouri, Colorado, Arizona, and California.
Oh, then it makes the most sense. Like his workflow makes the most sense. Absolutely, organizing by state.
Yeah.
If you were to just do California is probably the most fun state, honestly, right? We have the better growing capital. I don't know. I'm not really deep in the
I have to
cannabis
split
industry.
California into two because I did a SoCal and a NorCal visit.
Yeah. I mean, organization also is super duper key when it comes to editing. You're an editor right now, dude, and that is its own uphill battle. Organization on the front end is going to save you significantly on the back end.
Huge.
Massive.
Yep.
So
And I
being able
followed
to say-
Isaac's suggestion and I got the Premiere Pro purchased. So that's one step ahead. And then I did organize all of my clips into state buckets and then events within each state. So that's already organized. So I guess I'm at least that far ahead. And now it's going to be a matter of jumping in.
Bigger
each
than you
bucket.
expect.
Huge.
Massive.
Because then you start looking into assets. Like we can also send you the one sheet that we created so you can see some of the suggested websites. YouTube, we don't have any YouTube shit there, but like YouTube tutorials are pretty massive too, Bree, to look at what it is, how you understand the program, not knowing the tool. Having the right tool is 90% of every job, right? Knowing where you can subscribe for music, where you can subscribe for B-roll, where you can subscribe for the other assets you're going to be looking for is also on our one sheet. We use Elements Envato. He's going to share it with you in 3, 2, 1, dos. I don't know, maybe not. It has a bunch of stock video, a bunch of stock footage, a bunch of sound effects, a bunch of video templatized stuff that you could take advantage of. And I would, again, strongly suggest leaning into YouTube University to understand the tool that is Premiere. Again, I've been using this for the last 10 to 11 years. And at first I was like, what the fuck is a keyframe? But now that I got more familiar with the product, it's become second nature. And there's this weird thing when you start editing enough, like we call it the editor's intuition, where you might reach your roadblock and then I have to figure it out, and something massive happens and you're like, oh, this might make sense, let me try this effect, and it ends up being pretty fluid. I also want to say within the philosophy of all this is being gentle and graceful with yourself, because this is a new opportunity and a new venture. And I've done it where I'm like hard on myself because I can't succeed and I have high ambition and high expectation for myself. But know that you're going to do a good job and trust the intuition that speaks for you when it comes to what you're going to tell a story. You've done all the organizing, you have the intention, you have the understanding of the content more than anybody else. No one else can do what you're going to do. So you're going to do what you can do, which is the best and what you're going to do, which we call EPAT. So like lean into, it's going to be fine, and take it one step at a time. If anything, having a goal set for the day because you're busy might make a lot of sense too. Like, how can I get my state contents organized? How can I organize all of this event and make that into a thing? My best clips for this event. Can I do that today? And then look into when your deadline is and start doing it like not Aikido, there's a word for this. Like, you know, brick by brick, dude. You know how to build Rome, right? Not in a day.
Yeah. I'll leave you with an organizational system that I love called Kanban. So maybe set up a Kanban board that's going to help you work through this thing. You're nodding like you know what that is. So I'll leave you with that. I like doing that, and just one brick at a time. Yeah,
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Wish you could spend more time right now. I'm sorry, but we
Yeah,
got to get
dude.
Paris to his next event.
Yeah, I got to split, dude. But it was real. Thank you guys for coming for AV Club. This was the last one of the year. I don't know when we're doing this again. We're doing this again January the 4th?
I think it's the 11th.
All right.
So we had a funky schedule because of the holidays.
Yeah, dude.
We put the one that was supposed to happen next week onto this week. We're
Right.
taking 2 weeks off.
Going to sleep.
We're going to see you in 3 weeks from today.
Word up.
AV Club, for those of you who love us, think about who would be good in this room. Who else has a business or has a brand that they could love? We are spending more time and effort on this coaching program, and it's a coaching program. And it's a big investment for us. It literally represents, I think everyone, if you do the math, it's like a couple $100 per time that we do this. Just that's the way it works out with the time and the space and in the office, and our own time that we get paid for the thing.
Keep going.
Whole bit.
Sorry about it.
So if this has been valuable to you, then the best way you could help us out is to tell somebody about it.
Put people in our AV stocking right now so we can have more conversations and get here on time so we can give you more information you would need to help you succeed. Yeah.
All the things. And with that, we wish you a happy 2025. 4 coming up. We'll catch you in the fresh one. And Paris, any last words of wisdom?
Before you go to sleep tonight,
Oh, other side. Yo, Bree, thanks for coming in. Sorry we can't talk much. We gotta head out. We've got another thing we gotta do. But you good? All good? You're muted. No idea what you're saying. 0%. I don't read lips very well.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. And I will be on the next one on time.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if you got the email. So questions. Are you on the calendar?
So I
There's
had
a
it
calendar.
on. I had it on my calendar, but when I clicked the link, it was like, this link doesn't work. And so I was like, why? I thought I replaced the old link with the new link. So then I went to my email and searched for AV Club today. And then I found the one that I had signed up for. And then I clicked on that. And then it brought me to the new Zoom link.
So it worked eventually. You found the right thing?
Yeah, I found it in my email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then I think if you go to longbeachvideo.com/avclub, there is a link to the new calendar.
Okay.
To make sure that you got a fresh calendar link.
Okay.
And that we're updating that pretty regularly.
Okay, cool.
And that's, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
But and then the email list. You get the emails, right? Because we are sending out emails via the subscription. So I think that there was one that went out on Monday.
Okay. I can do a double check, but I want to make sure that I'm signed up for all of it because I do want to be making these meetings, and I want to bring my friend Kit to the next one and my friend Veronica. So I'll be reaching out to some friends because we're all kind of trying to up our social media, video game and stuff. So
Tight. Yeah. And then let me show you real quickly. I have this cheat sheet. We'll get you the cheat sheet.
please.
The easiest way to get the cheat sheet right now.
On my laptop or now. I can have it?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay, so we made this cheat sheet. It's got all these different things. It's got 7 different videos, some video pro tips, the different types of videos that we believe every person brand should have.
Oh, that's amazing.
Some, you can kind of see here, little testimonials, how to do, like what it's supposed to be like, the do's and the don'ts for each video, some like ratios for the different social media stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Like editing software, some like stock footage subscriptions, some like pro tips of the top.
Yeah.
Different things. The fastest way to grab this is to head to longbeachvideo.com/liftoff24. And then I just have basically a download link. But if you grab that, and then if you remind me, if you shoot me an email or a text later, I can send this to you.
Yeah.
But that's another
Thank
resource
you.
for you.
That'll be super helpful.
All right, cool. And great. You're the best.
You're the best.
Also, I found something you might be interested in. I was browsing the web the